today will be Channel Park. We're going to talk about Channel Park and what's happening with Channel Park. We went to a meeting and we set up a bicycle group again. But this time I'm putting another twist on it. It's in May, so I'm going to see getting the paperwork started for recruitment this month. It's the first weekend, second weekend of May. So after Mother's Day, that's when I'm going to do the recruitment, which is after the second weekend in May. So between the third and fourth weekend, we might have something going there. Put the word out, see if anybody interested. It's been since 2017, 2018 since this occurred. And the difference this time, to put a twist on it, we're going to do have an educational part to it, where people can learn their bike and learn parts of their bicycle until we build up a group. That would be our option. If we're not going out for a ride, we can take that time out to learn the bike, or take 5 minutes out of each ride before we ride to learn something about a bike. So we're going to add that on to the bicycle ride. We have an educational component with it, with the ride. So I see doing it a little differently than we did back in 2017, 2018, where we just gathered together and ride out and just check out things. Leisure riding, not on no particular route and not like it's a tour, just a leisure ride. We might add some tours in there for the educational part. Try to do some educational part with it to make it more enticing and having a learning experience, especially about your bicycle. That'll be the number one thing. Learning parts about the bicycle. You always got to start with the tire and the inner tube, of course. Most people, when they ride a bike, they do not have a spare inner tube. It's very common practice. But with all this glass out here and all these other objects, they can give you a flat, like the bicycle lanes are not clean. I just recently rode on a bicycle lane. As soon as I got on, I said, I know I'm going to get me a flat. Before I could get off the lane, I was going down Jefferson, using corners to get to Jefferson. As I got past Mac, I seen all that glass out there. People still like breaking glass. Something about breaking glass, especially if they throw it out the car. That's littering. They don't want to get caught with no bottle, especially if the alcohol bottle they're drinking and driving. So they just throw it out the window. Bicycle lane is right there next to your car lane now. And it breaks there, then you got people walking doing the same thing, breaking glass on the sidewalk. So you can't win for losing. They're breaking glass both ways. On the bicycle in the bicycle lane as well as on the sidewalks. And the bicycle lane do not get cleaned enough, and a lot of people don't clean the sidewalks anymore. You have businesses that don't pay nobody to clean the sidewalk. You have to go out and clean the sidewalk in front of your business, but that doesn't occur. You just have to depend on people walking and picking up glass on the bottom of their feet. Or if it used to be vehicles, if using that vehicle lane, where the bike lanes are at now, it used to be the vehicle lane towards the curb. That vehicles riding over their glass will pick it up in the tires and keep the streets clean. So that's why people like riding in the streets instead of the sidewalk. Because you got a better chance of not getting a flat tire being on the street, especially when before the bike lanes and on the sidewalk. Now after the bike lanes out there, it don't get clean, so people still throwing out trash out the window, especially glass, and it's breaking in on bike lanes, and it's just a hazard for you to ride bicycle lanes because of that bad habit people still have. I understand you out there drinking and driving, you don't want to get caught with no bottle, but it's still going to be on your alcohol. Alcohol, you're still going to be on your breath. But at least you won't have the bottle with you. I guess that's the theory right there. Take that last sip and just throw it out the window. You're going to stop and put it in the trash can, that's for sure. So, some months I have good run, but I don't have no bicycle repair to do as far as changing, getting a flat tire and have to change it out. But this month, lately, the last 2 months, I've been getting hit up, one flat tire after another. So it's just the luck of the draw with that. So that's the plan this month. After Mother's Day, I'm going to put that in motion with, uh, with the CEO, Alice, person running the program at Chandler Park Conservancy. It's going through Chandler Park Conservancy. We're going to do that Learn Your Bike as well as a bicycle ride. So it's going to combine learning something on your bike before we leave out on the bicycle ride. Like I said, I'm going to start with the tire and the inner tube, then the rim, and work my way on up, and eventually get to all the way through the whole bike. Learning the basic parts on the bike with the terminology that's associated with that part, the manufacturer terminology, and that's how we're going to do that. We're also going to take this show on the road and with neighborhood tours in association with ECN Mobility Group. That's how I'm associated with ECN Mobility Group through neighborhood tours. Be able to go to other locations and events and do the Learn Your Bike as well as promote the tours and put them two together this year. So that's the plan for this year. So don't always just be about tours. It can be about learning your bike. I think that's a winning combination. You get two for one. You get a chance to check out the tours if you choose to. And if you choose to, you can also learn about the bike that you are riding if you're a bicycle rider. And if you're not, even for your kids, you can do it for your kids. So you want to repair your kid's bike, you can. It'll be all good. So that's how we're looking at that. So there we have it. That's the plan for Chandler Park as well as for ECN. ECN wants to do with the big events, but we'll see what happens with that. Might have a little setback on that. You know, I notice when people promote bicycle rides, they never ask a person, do they have a spare inner tube to put on their bicycle? You either have the spare inner tube or you have the patches. That's a clear patch. You got the glue on the back that you don't have to wait for it to dry. I call them like super glue patches. You put on, if you can find your spot on your inner tube, you can make sure that the bicycle tire don't have it, whoever punched it, whoever made that tire go down, whoever punched that hole in your tire with a piece of glass or a piece of metal. You gotta make sure that's out, so it pays to have some pliers with you. Just some pliers, not the vice grips, just some pliers, the hand pliers. That you can feel for that part. And you might have to cut yourself a little bit feeling for the part, or you can look for it. Sometimes you look for it, you can't see it all the time, so you got to feel for it with your hand on the inside of the inner tube. So you can get that piece of metal or glass out. Sometimes you can see it. And sometimes I have used a nail to knock it out because it would not pop out. It's a piece of glass. I just put a nail in and put a little hole in the tire. But it's on the thread side, so it didn't matter. You put a little hole in it. Sometimes it pays to have a nail in your book bag. Just a straight nail with a head on it, a pointed head on it, or a screw nail. Something you can use to punch that piece of metal out. A lot of times, if you don't get it with the pliers, you gotta get it with put a little hole in the tire. Hole in your tire to make that object pop out or get out of there. So that's something to be talked about because most of the time people invite people out. I just checking out a flyer recently. It encourage people to do everything but bring a spare inner to be prepared for a flat. And I remember last time we was out, the person had a flat, but just good thing was on the way back in. But they had a flat and not a plan for the flat. Tires. By the time they have people that ride with you that would repair a tire right quick for you with that quick patch, that clear patch. They got the glue on it and then just peel back and you put it on there. And you got to do all that drying time like the other ones. The cheap ones for dollar store, $2 or $3 now. Used to be $1 at the dollar store. The cheap ones, they work, but you have to wait for that glue to dry. Then put it on there. Then you got to press down on it real hard. I have rigged me something up for that piece of wood. 2 pieces of wood I put together. Use that like a vise. And that's my rigged up so I put that pressure on that patch. And that patch be more secure, but it takes 24 hours for me to feel comfortable enough to use it. Make sure that it got securely put on the inner tube, the patch. The patch is securely on that inner tube. This one you don't have to. You still got to press down on. I have used it one time, but then press down on it real hard all the way around, and they came back out under air pressure. So they ain't 100%, but it's better than the other one, as far as not having that waiting time. The one worse too, but it's a little waiting time. And with me, I'm 50-50 with that way. But I'm 9 times out of 10 when I put it on that board. When I have it on the board, I'm 9 times out of 10. Them two boards I put together and I put some screw nails in there. To tighten them up and hold them together. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be a winner. Versus 50-50 doing it by hand. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about things like that. Instead of just heading out and riding, we spend 5-10 minutes talking about bicycle maintenance and repairs. Just basic repairs, nothing intense. And we might even give a class there one day. So, and then definitely going to be asking other people for their insight. So it don't always have to be about me giving a educational part about bicycles. It could be other people in the group. That's the plan for 2025. Start up this month, probably after Mother's Day. That's a good thing to do. It's the last 2 weeks of May. Or we get a ride out, or we get a meet up, so we get to know each other and see how this is going to work. It's nothing guaranteed there because the group we had before, I might try to reach out to some of them, but I don't know where all the information is. But I'm going to hope that people fly out there and invite people to ride their bike in the evening time. Probably be on a Thursday most time, or maybe do it on Thursday, and once a month do it on a Saturday. Do it something like that, 6 o'clock, until we get back. So that's the plan for Chandler Park this year. And I think it'll work. I got to run it past through other people. Let them know what my intentions are. And also going to do with ECN when they do their bicycle, when they have their big events at their location. So it's something to do, something to talk about. And that's the plan. I'm going to add that on with Neighborhood Tours Detroit, so I think that's a good match to have both of them together. So having said all that, we're going to say saw, which is goodbye in the Mini language.